Thank you for checking out this little teaser of the history of the papacy and church. Here's a little taste of what's coming up soon on the History of the Papacy podcast. Now, if you like what you hear, I'd love it if you'd leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. If you want to support the podcast even more, consider becoming a Patreon on patreon.com/history of the papacy. There are many levels and benefits for you, and you help keep the history of the papacy going. You can learn more about all of this at historyofthepapacypodcast.com. With that, here's another piece of the mosaic of the popes of Rome and Christian church, and I will definitely be talking to you more soon. I thought it was really interesting because it's something that I'd never heard before. I'll freely admit I've never read Jeremiah, so I don't really know, and I don't know much about him either, but I thought it was really fascinating and kind of mind-bending the way Jeremiah has a book, and it's set in his time, but then Jeremiah and his scribe write a book that is a lot about their times that's set in the way distant past. And just the way you showed that all those different things that he's talking about, the things that really show up in the Genesis account, it's very hard to wrap your mind around.
Right? It is. And you know what? Just like my favorite tidbit that is blowing my mind is that, and, you know, a lot of these things, I should say, it will be very hard to refute because it's a literary analysis, right? So it's like it will be hard to say that this literary analysis is wrong. Maybe it is wrong, but I don't know, just come up with a better literary analysis. And maybe you have a better one. I don't mind. I don't know if like my takes are, 100% correct, but that's also something interesting. So this very Jacob tale that had this prophecy against the king written into it was Jacob in a feud with his uncle from the east, Lavan. And just like reading through it, and as you said, reading with comparing it with what Jeremiah says about his time, you can directly connect it to this uncle being their take of what Nebuchadnezzar II, the king of Babylon at that time, what they think that he was like as a person.